Cuba, I've experienced this movie. Oh, my God. Oh, you know, I'll tell you where I would really love to see it is in my VR goggles, or I want to go to a 4D movie theater and sit in those seats that rock and move and everything's going on. This movie's got action in it.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of everything, doesn't it? And it's funny. My agents called me and said there's these two twin brothers, Ali and Zeus, who are director producer team. Ali and Zeus Zamani, remember that name? They said they did a movie 4 years ago and they're working on the sequel now and they'd like to implement you. I said, what does that mean? They said, we could send you the movie. So they sent me a majority of the movie to watch before I filmed one frame, and it, like you, it blew me away. So these guys are storytellers. What they can do in the computer realm now is insane. And what I loved about it is the character development, how you meet these characters and you start to care about them. And that's the thing that I loved about these guys, and they did the real deal.
You are so right about that, because I love the way that they built up the characters and that you could grab the emotions and carry that with you through the story as they became that solid team.
Right. 100%. My character, Balthazar, who's been commissioned to look after these group of American soldiers who were in combat in Iraq. And then even after they come home, they don't realize that they're still in spiritual warfare.
Yep.
And, you know, it takes some convincing to prove to them that they're fighting not just the men on earth, but the spiritual realm and the demons and the good and evil. And you literally visually see this in the way that they had these visuals set up and how they do it efficiently and the new techniques, the storytelling techniques they use is really mind-blowing. So I'm really proud of what they accomplished for very little money, and it's there on the screen where you're just going, there's no way you could do this for the budget that you had. So I'm excited for people to see it. Angels Fallen, Warriors of Peace.
Oh, and it opens up with some of the most intense fighting. Oh, my God. I mean, and the way the camera angles move with each character, I mean, I felt like I was right there in that scene with them, experiencing everything that was going on.
Yeah, 100%. And I got to tell you, they already came to me with their next project, and they said, listen, we've been doing some film tests incorporating AI, and what they have next and how they're going to do some of these action sequences. The best way to describe it is it's like UFC meets filmmaking, where you're going to see real blows and hits taken and given in the movie. I don't still know. I understand what they're explaining, but they're going to show me that stuff next week. These guys are the real deal. And I'm telling you, they're on a visual journey that is representative of where we're going as filmmakers. The next generation's here, 100%.
Yeah. And you're the real deal, too, in this movie, especially the very first meeting that you have with Gabriel, where he's holding on to that glass of wine, and all of a sudden you two meet, and the pacing that you put in letting him know what was going on drew me closer into the storyline, going, okay, what is this all about again? And then, but just the way that scene was put together was so special.
Yeah, they say 90% of directing is casting, right? And here you have this guy, Josh Burdett from England, who would just nail this character. And it's something to say about chemistry. You can't find it. You can't recreate it. It has to be there. There has to be some spark, some energy that's connected between the two. And, you know, he was one of these actors that I was just proud to be a part of the beginning of his journey. And I think we're going to see a lot more of him as well.
One of the things that was very shocking to me was the angel Michael. I've never seen an angel like that, or a Michael angel like that. This is a different spin on Michael.
Yeah. I'm telling you, these guys are progressive, man. They're looking to tell stories that really provoke people, you know. And it's interesting when you have this resurgence of these faith-based movies, you know. This is the one audience that's been underserved. You look at last summer with the Barbenheimer theory, where the Barbie and Oppenheimer movies made $1 billion, but they didn't talk about the third movie as much, Sound of Freedom, making over hundreds of millions of dollars. There's an audience here that's dying for these movies of faith and redemption. You know, next week I got another movie coming out, Firing Squad, in 2,500 screens, about the true story, again, of these Americans caught in this Indonesian prison and sentenced to the death penalty. And they find their faith in the darkest hour. So I think that we're going to see more of these movies that uplift, that give hope to the audience in a time that we definitely need it. Definitely.
Oh yeah, and the storytelling on that and the quality has just grown so much. I mean, I've sat down with Pat Boone and we've talked about these movies, these faith-based movies, and how much they are growing. And when people see this movie, they're going to change. There's going to be a lot of change inside their heart.
That's right, because the quality has gotten better.
Yep.
I mean, before you watch these movies, because there weren't a lot of names in there, you didn't know, or the way the way they spent money on the production value, it wasn't nothing. But now it's like it's a boom of production value and technology, and you have actors like myself who are established, lending our voice to these stories because we know that this is where it's going, you know. And if you think of Hollywood, really, the first guys, the Samuel Goldwyns and the Warner Brothers, they all started with the Ben-Hurs and the Moses, the Ten Commandment movies. So it's like Hollywood. Everything's cyclical. It's coming back to these faith-based tales, and I love it.
Without doing a spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, would you say that has to be the biggest twist we've seen in a movie in a very, very long time?
Yeah, it's what got me to say yes to the movie, you know, because like I say, these guys are visually stunning, but they know how to tell a story. And you invest in these characters, and when you see what happens to them, I mean, it's one of those things where you're like, boy, you can say that there is no fate. You can say that there is no other higher being looking after you, but you can't deny that. Right place, right time, and it must be of God in some way, you know, and that's what the statement our movie makes.
Well, I would pray to God just to see if I could get you to team up with those guys again, and except next time do a 9 or a 10-part binge watch.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. There you go.
Well, congratulations on this movie, and congratulations on the next movie you were just talking about.
Thank you, sir. Firing Squad, August 2nd, 2,500 screens across America. So sure it'll be one in a theater near you, brother.
I love it. Please come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Thank you. I sure will.
Well,
appreciate you.
Be brilliant today, okay?
Okay, you too, brother. Thanks, man.